There are moments when the universe conspires to deliver a message at the exact second you need to hear it. This is one of those moments. You didn't stumble here by accident. You were guided here because something in your spirit has been stirring, something that needs confirmation. And heaven decided today was the day you would receive it. Before we begin this sacred journey together, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and join our community of divine wisdom seekers. And if you feel this message arrived at the perfect moment in your life, type 1111 in the comments for divine alignment and spiritual covering. Trust me, by the end of this message you will understand why this simple act carries more power than you realize. Hello, beloved soul, you have been feeling it, haven't you? That strange sensation like you are standing between two worlds. Part of you still carries the weight of battles fought, while another part senses something has shifted in the spiritual atmosphere around you. You are not imagining it. What you are feeling is the aftermath of a divine transition that many will never understand because they were never chosen to walk the path you have walked. Let me tell you something about yourself that perhaps no one has ever told you. You are not ordinary. You never were. From the moment you drew your first breath, heaven marked you differently. You have always known this on some level, even when the world tried to convince you otherwise. Even when people misunderstood your intensity, your depth, your inability to settle for surface level existence. They called you too sensitive, too serious, too much. But heaven called you chosen, and chosen ones carry a different kind of power. It is not the kind that seeks attention or demands recognition. It is the kind that shifts atmospheres without trying, that speaks truth when lies would be easier, that stands firm when everyone else bends. But this power, this divine authority you carry, it comes with a price. And part of that price is learning to master the very force that makes you different. You see, when God places His hand on someone, He doesn't just give them gifts. He gives them responsibilities. He doesn't just open doors. He creates pathways that others will follow. And sometimes walking those pathways means facing battles that would break ordinary souls. But you are still here, aren't you? After everything that tried to destroy you, you are still standing. That alone should tell you something about who you really are. Let me share with you 9 divine truths about the power you carry, especially in those moments when your humanity meets your divinity, when your emotions surge and your spirit ignites. Because understanding these truths isn't just knowledge, it is survival. It is wisdom. It is the key to stepping into the next season of your life, with the authority heaven has already granted you. First truth, your words are not just words. When you speak, especially when emotion fuels your voice, the very fabric of reality pays attention. You have noticed this, haven't you? How sometimes you say something in frustration and it manifests faster than your prayers. How your angry words seem to cut deeper than you intended, leaving marks on souls that last for years. This isn't coincidence. This is the weight of divine authority flowing through human vessels. Think back to the last time you spoke in anger. Not the careful, measured responses you usually give, but that moment when truth erupted from your spirit like lava from a volcano. Remember how people's faces changed, how the atmosphere shifted, how some relationships never recovered. That wasn't just human emotion. That was spiritual authority unleashed without restraint. Your words carry creative and destructive power because you speak with heaven's backing, whether you realize it or not. Second truth, your presence alone changes environments. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to do anything. When your spirit is disturbed, everyone feels it. It is like a frequency that disrupts the normal programming of a room. Conversations stumble. People become uncomfortable without knowing why. Even those who usually dominate spaces suddenly feel small. This happens because chosen ones are spiritual tuning forks. Your emotional state broadcasts on frequencies most people cannot consciously hear, but their spirits receive loud and clear. When you are at peace, you bring peace. When you are in turmoil, you bring disruption. Not because you are trying to, but because that is how powerful your spiritual presence is. Third truth, your anger reveals hidden things. One of the most mysterious aspects of a chosen one's anger is how it forces truth to surface. People who have been wearing masks suddenly cannot keep them on. Those who harbored secret resentments find themselves confessing things they never meant to say. It is as if your anger creates a spiritual pressure that squeezes out what was hidden in darkness. This is actually a gift, though it might not feel like one in the moment. God uses your emotional storms to reveal who truly stands with you and who was just pretending. The friend who was secretly jealous, the family member who resented your growth, the colleague who smiled while plotting against you, they all expose themselves when your spirit is stirred. Your anger becomes a refining fire that separates real from fake, truth from deception. Fourth truth, your silence can be more powerful than your words. Not all chosen ones explode when angry. Some withdraw into a silence so profound it changes the molecular structure of the air. This silence isn't empty. It is pregnant with power, heavy with unspoken truth, thick with restrained force. People around you begin to feel the weight of their own consciences, because your silence creates space for their guilt to echo. In these moments, you become a mirror that reflects back to people who they really are. Without saying a word, you communicate volumes. Your withdrawal of energy, attention, and presence becomes a form of judgment that many find unbearable. They would rather face your anger than your silence because at least anger engages. Silence simply removes your light from their world, and for many, that darkness is terrifying. Fifth truth, your thoughts in anger can shift destinies. This is perhaps the most sobering truth. When a chosen one thinks with intense emotion, those thoughts carry weight in the spiritual realm. You don't even need to speak curses or pray for judgment. Your mere thoughts, when powered by righteous anger, can open and close doors in people's lives. You have seen this happen, though you might not have connected the dots. That person who betrayed you and suddenly faced a series of unfortunate events. That situation that frustrated you which unexpectedly resolved itself. These aren't coincidences. These are the results of a chosen one's thoughts carrying executive power in the spiritual realm. This is why God repeatedly warns chosen ones to guard their hearts and minds. Your mental and emotional states are not private matters. They are spiritual forces that shape reality. Sixth truth, your anger attracts spiritual warfare. Here is something they don't teach in Sunday school when a chosen one loses their peace. It is like sending up a flare signal to the spiritual realm. Both light and darkness take notice. The enemy sees an opportunity to attack because anger can lower your spiritual defenses. But heaven also mobilizes because God protects his chosen ones even in their imperfection. This is why periods of anger are often followed by unusual challenges, unexpected conflicts, or strange occurrences. You are not imagining the increased spiritual activity. It is real. Your anger creates a vortex that draws spiritual attention, and that attention isn't always friendly. The enemy knows that if he can keep you in anger, he can distract you from your purpose. Seventh truth, your power becomes unstable in anger. The gifts God gave you, discernment, healing, prophecy, wisdom, they all become unpredictable when filtered through anger. Like trying to perform surgery with shaking hands, your spiritual abilities become unreliable when your emotions are in chaos. The same mouth that speaks life might speak death. The same hands that heal might wound. The same spirit that builds might tear down. This instability isn't just dangerous for others, it is dangerous for you. Using spiritual power through the filter of anger is like running electricity through damaged wiring. Something's going to short circuit, and you might be the one who gets burned. This is why mastery over emotions isn't optional for chosen ones. It is essential for survival. Eighth truth, your anger can accidentally open doors you didn't mean to open. In the spiritual realm, intense emotion is like a key that can unlock things. When chosen ones experience rage, they sometimes inadvertently open doors to dimensions of experience they are not prepared for. Heightened spiritual sensitivity, unexpected prophetic visions, encounters with spiritual entities. These can all be triggered by the energy release of anger. Some chosen ones report seeing into people's souls during angry moments, perceiving their true nature in ways that are both revealing and disturbing. Others find themselves knowing things they shouldn't know, seeing outcomes before they happen, or feeling the weight of spiritual realities usually hidden from human perception. While this might sound exciting, it is often overwhelming and can leave chosen ones feeling exposed and vulnerable. Ninth truth, your transformation in anger shocks those who underestimated you. Perhaps the most powerful truth is this: When a chosen one finally reaches their limit, the transformation is so complete, so shocking, that it forever changes how others perceive them. The gentle soul becomes a warrior. The quiet one becomes a storm. The patient one becomes an immovable force. This transformation isn't just emotional, it is spiritual, and everyone can see it. Your eyes change. Your voice carries authority it didn't have before. Your presence commands respect without demanding it. Those who took your kindness for weakness suddenly understand their miscalculation. Those who pushed your boundaries realize they have awakened something they cannot control or contain. But here is what heaven wants you to understand right now. These 9 truths, as powerful as they are, describe weapons you have already used. They describe battles you have already fought. They describe a war that has already been won. Yes, you heard that correctly. The war you have been fighting, the one that required you to discover these truths through trial and fire, that war is over. I know it might not feel like it. Your body still carries the tension. Your mind still runs the battle scenarios. Your spirit still braces for the next attack. But heaven has made an announcement, and when heaven speaks, reality must align. The verdict has been declared. Victory belongs to you. This isn't poetry or positive thinking. This is spiritual fact. The cycles that kept repeating, the generational curses that kept manifesting, the spiritual opposition that kept rising, they have been broken. The enemy's legal right to torment you has been revoked. The season of constant warfare has ended. And now heaven is extending an invitation you might find harder to accept than any battle you have faced. The invitation to rest. You see, you have been in survival mode so long that peace feels foreign. You have been fighting so consistently that stillness feels like vulnerability. You have been guarding your heart so fiercely that opening it feels dangerous. But God is saying something you need to hear, my warrior, my chosen one. You can lower your sword now. The battle you were born to fight has been won. This doesn't mean you will never face challenges again. Life still has its tests, but the specific war that was assigned to destroy you, the one that tried to break your spirit and steal your purpose, that war has no more power. You outlasted it. You outlived it. You overrode its narrative with your survival. Think about what you have endured to get here. The nights you cried until you had no more tears. The days you smiled when everything in you wanted to scream. The moments you stood when your knees wanted to buckle. The times you spoke life when death felt easier. Each of those moments was a battle, and each battle you survived was a victory heaven recorded. But survival mode was never meant to be permanent. You were not created to live in constant vigilance, always waiting for the next attack. You were created to live in cycles, seasons of battle followed by seasons of blessing, seasons of struggle followed by seasons of rest. And beloved, your season of rest has arrived. I can feel some of you resisting this message. Your mind is already listing all the reasons why you cannot rest, all the threats still looming, all the work still undone. But this resistance is just the echo of old programming. It is the residue of a war that trained you to never let your guard down. Heaven is reprogramming you now, teaching you that strength can look like stillness, that power can manifest as peace. This rest I am talking about isn't laziness or complacency. It is not about becoming passive or indifferent. This is active rest, the kind that restores your soul while positioning you for your next assignment. It is the rest of a soldier between missions, not the rest of someone who has given up. It is sacred, strategic, and necessary. You need to understand something. The very fact that you survived what you survived qualifies you for this rest. You don't need to earn it by fighting more battles. You don't need to prove you deserve it by suffering longer. Your scars are proof enough. Your presence here is evidence enough. Your still beating heart is testimony enough. Heaven sees what others don't see. Heaven knows what you have carried in secret, the battles you fought in silence, the victories no one celebrated, the times you chose light when darkness would have been justified, the moments you extended grace when revenge was within reach. Every single choice to keep going when quitting made sense. Heaven saw it all, and heaven says, enough. You have done enough. Now rest. This rest will feel different from anything you have known. It is not the exhausted collapse after battle. It is the settled peace of knowing the war is truly over. It is waking up without checking for threats. It is breathing without bracing for impact. It is existing without explaining. It is being without proving. In this rest, you will discover parts of yourself that war never let you explore. Gifts that only bloom in peace. Dreams that only surface in safety. Relationships that only deepen in trust. You will find that without the constant drain of battle, your spirit has energy for creation, for joy, for pursuits that feed your soul rather than just protect it. But let me be clear about something. This transition from warrior to rested victor isn't instant. Your nervous system needs time to adjust. Your mind needs time to believe it. Your spirit needs time to settle into it. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new rhythm. Some days you will still wake up ready to fight. Some moments you will still brace for impact. That is okay. Healing happens in layers, and each layer takes time. What matters is that you start. Start by taking one deep breath without scanning for danger. Start by enjoying one moment without planning your defense. Start by receiving one blessing without questioning if you deserve it. These small acts of rest are revolutionary for someone who has lived in survival mode. They are declarations of faith that the war is truly over. And here is the beautiful thing. As you rest, you are not becoming less powerful. You are becoming more powerful. A rested chosen one is far more dangerous to the enemy than an exhausted one. Your clarity increases. Your discernment sharpens. Your authority deepens. Rest doesn't diminish your edge, it refines it. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you in constant battle. He knew that if you ever discovered the power of divine rest, you would become unstoppable. A chosen one who has learned to rest in God's finished work is a force of nature. They move differently. They speak differently. They carry a confidence that comes not from constant vigilance, but from settled victory. So let this truth sink deep today. You are not in danger. You are not behind schedule. You are not failing by resting. You are aligning with heaven's rhythm. You are stepping into a new dimension of your calling. You are becoming who you were always meant to be, not just a warrior, but a victor who knows how to enjoy the peace they fought for. The transformation happening in you right now is profound. You are moving from defender to creator, from survivor to thriver, from warrior to wisdom carrier. This isn't a demotion, it is a promotion. Heaven is graduating you from the battlefield to the throne room, from the trenches to the high places, from constant crisis to consistent peace. I want you to do something right now. Take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs without fear. Notice how your heart beats without panic. Recognize that in this moment you are safe. You are held. You are covered. This isn't temporary. This is your new normal if you will receive it. To everyone watching who knows this message was divinely timed for them, who felt their spirit leap at truths they have never heard spoken but always knew were real, welcome to your new season. The war is over. The victory is yours. The rest is real, and the best part, this is just the beginning. If this message has shifted something in your spirit, if you feel the weight lifting and the peace settling, I invite you to seal this moment. Subscribe to this channel and join our family of chosen ones walking in divine purpose. Type 1111 in the comments as your declaration that you receive this rest, this victory, this new beginning. Share this message with another warrior who needs to know their war is over. Remember, you didn't find this message. This message found you at the exact moment you needed to hear it. That is not coincidence. That is providence. That is heaven saying, I see you, I know you, I have got you, now rest. Welcome to your season of sacred rest. Mighty chosen one, you have earned it, you deserve it, and heaven has decreed it. The battle is over. The victory is yours. Now live like it. This is the Chosen Seer channel, where divine wisdom meets hungry hearts. Until next time, walk in your victory, rest in your identity, and remember, you are chosen. You are powerful, and you are finally free to be who you were always meant to be. Peace and power to you, beloved. Your new chapter starts now.